Late Night Parents. My name is Ted Hicks, and we have a full house tonight. So I'm guessing it's going to be a really great show. To my left, I mean, usually I would say a team member, but she's been more like a guest because she's had the book tour, the speaking tour.
And I thought that I was welcome back into the fold.
Oh, wait, you were more than welcome.
And I feel the daggers being stabbed deeper and deeper
heat.
in my heart because I was told that I was never not a part of the team.
Who said that?
And,
who said
and
that?
now I was
Who
just
said that?
told I was a guest.
Wait. First, whoever said that you're not a part of the team?
Of course you are. But of course we got to give you a hard way to go.
I think I'm going to leave while I'm ahead.
We needed some fanfare music, introduction, drum rolls, trumpets.
You know, she's back in the building.
Dr. Michele.
Dun, dun.
See, I was really excited about being back with the crew.
We're excited.
Yes. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for looking out for me.
Richie V's in the building.
Teddy Ted. What's going on?
We're in the new studio. Moved location. Still in New York, but in Merrick, New York. So we want to give a big shout out to AM 1240 WGBB, the home of Late Night Parents, the Fit Doc, the real Richie V, a.k.a. Late Night Rich. And our photo is not up, but that's okay.
Yes, we have to get a photo
But
up
we got a
there.
photo up over here.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
That's
on the
not
board.
a photo. That's
a logo.
A logo.
Yes,
It's a logo.
this picture
But-
of our logo is up.
But it only took him 2 years.
We will have a photo.
But we need to have our
Ba-dum-bum.
picture up on the wall here, right behind me.
Yes, we do.
Come out firing.
There it is again.
There
Super
you go.
producer Brian in the building.
Brian Graves, we want to thank you for all that you do.
And we know you did an extra amount this last week.
Of course.
Getting this place up and running. Not to mention all the things, of course, we know that Teddy Ted did as well to get this place up and running.
Please.
I think he knows more about broadcast systems and electronics than he ever wanted to know.
Ever wanted to know.
And should hopefully never have to use again.
You know, you kind of think of the term inside baseball when you say
here we go.
You think of inside baseball because baseball season is right around the corner again. And it's kind of when you get to see how the sausage is made and, you know, the inner workings of everything, you're like, oh.
So that's how it is.
So that's how it is at, you know, broadcasting and everything else like that. So, a lot to cover. Ways to follow the show is latenightparents.com. You can go to the website. You'll find a Twitter feed, Facebook feed. Want to give a big shout out. Lunar New Year. It's the Chinese Lunar New Year. It was happening all last week, but it's being recognized more like, I guess, over the last 24, 48 hours.
Really? Okay. I wonder if there's any specific reason for this? Do you know?
I'm not really sure, but it just says the Lunar New Year is a holiday based on the Chinese lunisolar calendar and is celebrated worldwide because our good friend Kenny Lowe celebrated the Lunar New Year, and he was out last week enjoying himself amongst friends and family, and so big shout there.
So what else has been going on?
I guess we got to get back to some of the... I want to hear about Dr. Michele, but I think it's great to touch upon this topic again.
Oh, yes.
Parkland, Florida.
Yes.
Yes.
And everything that has been going around Parkland and around the country.
Well, I mean, this is one country that we fight, and we are divided over legalized marijuana, legal immigration, you name it. You call out DACA, you call out the Dreamers. Everyone has their own thoughts about those topics. But when you say stronger gun reform, that's where the country is running. It appears to be running in unison after this last situation.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a lot of heat. There's a lot of blame to go around. I sent in a private message. I said there's a lot of blame to go everywhere.
Right, and there is.
From the FBI to the school to folks that the mentally ill person was staying with.
Yep.
You know, the sheriff is catching a lot of heat right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, you know, not to continue to pull and drag those parts out, but lots of failures. I'm not even going to call those mistakes. We can call those outright failures, because when you have systems in place and processes in place and they all fail, seemingly in this case, they all failed, you can't call that a mistake.
No.
That's just blatant. Is it disregard for the rules? Is it ignorance? You know, does one person say, oh, well, I didn't hear it from this one, so it must be okay, or it's not that bad, or they don't know what they're talking about? Who knows what the references are and the reasonings were why it seems that all of the warning signs that were both visible and announced and phone calls made and dozens of visits to a home and, you know, tens of calls to a home.
39.
All referencing one person. I tell you, let it be one of us in this room that gets 2 phone calls to come by the house.
Well, forget about the 2 phone calls. I mean, as soon as there's an inquiry, that's the end of it.
I mean, it's because we're here in New York.
And sometimes when I say the end can be death.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it could be. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but on, you know, what the president likes to say, the fake news network.
Fake news.
Jake Tapper was undressing
Who?
the Broward County Sheriff.
Okay, I missed this. Go ahead.
I mean, it was painful to watch because, you know, there was that town hall that happened a few days ago.
Right.
And the sheriff was in unison with, you know, lockstep with the students. Now comes out that the sheriff was given information earlier that day that, you know, hey, your deputy did not go into the building.
Wait, was it only the one deputy?
No,
or now
I heard
that
it was 4.
I
heard it was 4.
Yes,
that
it's 4.
There was one initially, and then came out that 3 others.
He was. I think he was initially told about the 1.
Okay.
And he decided to keep that to himself the night of the town hall. So now you have representatives from his state of Florida that are asking him to, or advising him to resign.
You know, now only having that information which you've just described, I'm gonna go there and just say only one thing. Is there a possibility he was holding out to get all the evidence or get the full story before announcing that someone, basically accusing someone of it's not malpractice, but of not acting properly?
Dereliction of
duty. Thank you. Is that possible?
That's a strong possibility, because you don't want to discuss something until you know the full story.
Especially if you're law enforcement.
I like your thinking.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he was right, but maybe that's the case.
Okay.
For that, in that situation, in the middle of a town hall, you want to hold off and say something beforehand. But, of course, as it has now come out with 3 others who did not act as they were expected to, supposed to. I mean, you know, in those situations, again, not there, don't know what was going on in anyone's heads.
Right.
You know, there are different protocols. Old protocol for these situations was everyone wait outside, get together, and then go in as a joint force. The new protocol, which has been in place for a while, is that as soon as you get there, you go in.
Right.
Because you got to try and stop the shooter, stop the assailant, and do that. Yeah, it doesn't sound too good for these other 3 guys. It doesn't sound good for any of them, actually, because you should have gone in. You know the rules.
Deputy or the resource officer, whatever.
Yeah, who's supposed to be there for that purpose.
For that active shooter, type of emergency.
Yep, totally.
The minute, I guess, the footage was reviewed.
Right.
He retired.
Yeah, he said, no, y'all aren't going to have the chance to fire me.
He was like,
I'm retired.
Retiring, full benefits.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
I mean, who knows? But just because he retired after the fact, does that still say they can't get him for whatever dereliction of duty if there's a charge you can hold against that? I mean, I don't know the law. Maybe that's the procedure. But if not following the procedure, is that illegal? Or does that just mean, all right, well, he would have gotten fired, so instead he quits and is able to retain whatever benefits and all? Who knows?
I don't know, but I know one thing: these young people are making some headway.
Yeah, they are.
And they have charged up the nation.
Yep.
The nation is behind them.
Yep.
And we just don't want this to be just, the next or the previous engagement or event that happens.
Right.
Because at this rate, there's been, 18 shootings this year in 55 days now. I don't know. We'll segue. This is Late Night Parents. What has been going on in your life, Dr. Michele? Where have you been?
Where hasn't she been?
Now, the way that was said, I can't tell whether or not I was missed.
Of course you were missed. But we didn't know if you were in America. We didn't know. I mean, we knew you were on tour, but we didn't know if you were in America, which time zone.
You've been all over.
Well,
you've been all over.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Well, it can only be in a good way. There is no bad way around
I
it.
have
It
been
can only be a
doing
good
some
way.
traveling. I am back, but we're getting ready to start a 5-city tour because we know the book that you both read and you've been following in my absence, because I can see the changes in your face and in your bodies and your attitude. So I know my other co-hosts are mentally fit and physically strong because they've been following my book and the Fit Doc's Guide in my absence.
Of course.
So let this be your formal invitation on Sunday, March 18th at 3 p.m. We are going to relaunch the book.
Oh, okay.
New cover.
Oh, okay.
Few things are different on the inside. And we're going to be launching the Fit Doc website.
Nice.
And I don't think you've had a chance to fully check it out since the last time I sent it to you guys, because we've made some changes. But that's going to be on Sunday, March 18th, 3 p.m. It's free event. It's going to be held at the Uniondale Marriott.
Okay.
And what I've done is I've invited my quote-unquote fit crew. Because fitness is not just how you look or how you feel, it's the overall thing. So we're going to be talking about fit health, fit fitness, and how to stay physically fit. There are some people who, we want to talk about your dental health, because when you smile and you feel confident, that's part of how you are.
Right.
So we're going to have some trainers that are going to be there, some coaches, a dentist, a plastic surgeon, because so many of my patients are coming in because they want to enhance their bodies. And instead of them traveling out of the country and having complications, I would rather have someone locally that they can go to if they really feel there's a need to further enhance their bodies. So we're going to have a plastic surgeon that's going to be there. We're going to have a dentist that's going to be there too. And meditation is one of the key things that I like to do, and we're going to have a specialist there. But meditation, the last person, you stop. And I think since the last time I saw you guys, we did a small reception where we were talking about sexual health. And one of the specialist sex therapists is going to be there too, talking about sexual health, because that's a key aspect to relationships, being spiritually, mentally, physically, and sexually healthy. So come on out. And I know I did it especially at this time, so we can still make it to the show at 7:00.
Gotta be here.
So it's going to be at the Uniondale/Long Island Marriott, Uniondale, New York.
Right near the Nassau Coliseum.
That's right.
NYCB.
And some people can even walk there from their houses.
Yes, they can.
No excuses.
At 3 p.m. Sunday, March 18th.
No excuses.
Send out invitations.
Rich,
Send
be
them out.
there.
The invitation
Ted
is
walked
open.
there.
Yes, right. It's open to everyone. We're getting ready to start pitching it on social media.
Nice.
But that's going to be the first stop in our 5-city tour, where we're going to go to Chicago, DC, LA, and Houston.
Very nice. Guys, get the book out there. Relaunch the book. Relaunch the brand.
That's right.
Promote what sounds like a full 360 engagement.
That's
mind,
right.
body, and soul.
And maybe my host will go on the show on the road with me too.
See now.
Because I've been talking about a road trip, and every time it's a solo trip by Ted and a solo trip by Rich, and never like a group tour or no invitation for me or anything like that. But that's okay. I still came back because I never left.
You never left.
For Rich to get the vacation time, someone has to be there at work to kind of try to cover, because you could never actually cover Rich, all the great things that he does.
And the guy that has to approve that time.
Dagger.
I mean, the chances of getting that time approved, if you only knew.
Dagger.
Oh.
I guess we'll have to flip a coin or something so we can decide who can go with me.
That's true.
Thank you for welcoming me back.
All right.
Let me go shed a tear.
You'll shed a tear, right?
So this is Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show is latenightparents.com. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 words to the two of you.
Okay.
And I don't mean anything by this.
Uh-oh.
However, shut up and dribble. You know, some people, okay, when you hear those terms and you thought about what was going on with Fox News and LeBron James, knowing Laura Ingraham, per se, I'm not a fan.
Right.
But I know she wrote a book about 15 years ago that basically says shut up. And so if it's kind of similar to the mantra of stick to sports. So it would be like me saying, like, if Dr. Michele said something, I go, shut up and go see a patient.
Right.
You were just aching to say that, I see.
No.
Nope.
Or like, you know, I mean, it's one of those, hey, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Right.
You know.
Why do I have to have a lane?
I'm just going to go there and say, some people thought it was racist, her saying that. I guess it's based on, if you don't know her history, and you don't know that what she said in the past, like Jimmy Kimmel, shut up and be funny.
Right.
You know, Greg Popovich.
It's been said in various contexts.
Various contexts.
To various audiences.
Does she get a pass? Does she not get a pass? I mean, you got a lot of people. You know, it's talk radio. It's say something that's going to be controversial, and then the entire world is mentioning your name.
That's the purpose.
That's the purpose.
And said it before.
You know, I guess it would go for a lot of stars, but when you look at someone like LeBron James, who a lot of people probably don't like, you know, for their own specific reasons, but the amount of work he's put in, not just in his neighborhood, not just in ensuring that kids are applying to college, going to college, ensuring that, you know, the community itself is upheld to a certain level. I don't know if that kind of applies to him. And so I think when it warranted a response from him, I thought it was appropriate. You know, hey, what's that lady's name? Laura? What's her name again? So, I don't know. So I want to just, you know, say to all of us, should we stay in a specific lane? Shouldn't we have the ability to go and, you know, bob and weave in and out? Yeah. Or is politics that toxic?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think we should definitely be able to say what we want. I mean, I'm a physician. I don't think I should just talk about medicine.
Right.
I like to talk about other things, but everyone automatically assumes that that's all I want to talk about.
Yes.
But you have to be careful, especially when your person will say, like LeBron James or anyone else that's already a public figure for one reason, that before you go out there and state what is your opinion. I mean, anyone can state their opinion. One, don't state your opinion as fact unless you know it to be true as fact. And two, realize that if you're going to say something, be ready to back it up. But anyone, sure, you want to be a sports person, be a basketball player, football player, whatever sports jock, and make a political statement, you have every right to do so. Just be careful. Realize that what you say can come back to you and is going to draw attention because you are who you are, and you have to be aware of who your audience is. That's all. And if fire comes back at you, well, then okay, that's worthy as well. But anyone has the right to say, or voice whatever opinion they like. There's nothing wrong with that.
The only reason I brought it up was because of, we remember with Jamel Hill, and it seemed like Jamel Hill was the young lady who was on SportsCenter and who had some comments, and she decided to make some comments about the president.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Most people were telling her to stay in her lane and don't say this and don't do that. And
remind me though, did she say that while she was on the air?
She did not. She said that through social media.
Unless there was some clause within her contract that says no, you can't say things like that when you're off the air. If she said it as a private citizen,
right?
Yeah, okay.
I think there was like some type of morale clause or some social media clause, and she wound up getting suspended.
Right, I do remember.
But at the same time, it increased her personality even more.
We wouldn't be saying her name right now otherwise.
Right. That's so true. That is so true. I don't know. It's. I would just like to get back to a point. I think we all would, when everything wasn't so toxic.
That sure, it'll probably happen at some time, but I think that's happening now because, let's face it, of the current leadership and the current environment. Everything is just so volatile. Words, actions seem to be so off kilter with the opinions of a majority of people. Let's face it, we got the president out there on Twitter saying who knows what all the time. And this is going out, it's going out to the world.
Are we numb yet?
No, that's dangerous. If we get numb, then it's dangerous, because then you're just letting whatever is said happen, and you're turning a blind eye to it. And you can't turn a blind eye to anything, especially when it's coming from someone at that level. You can't do that. I'm not numb. You're not numb.
No, but I'm just wondering, like, there's certain days when there's a tweet storm.
Yes.
And there's like 15 or 20 tweets, and you're just like, okay, where are we going with this?
Right.
There's a lot to be said about what you should do and how you should conduct yourself on social media. That's why you have so many more companies nowadays. Just as there's a acceptable use policy, there's a social media policy.
Yep. Should we say that there should be a social media policy for the presidency?
You would think.
You would think.
You would think.
But hey, if you're a president, maybe you can do anything and say anything you please to do. That might be something else.
Or so he thinks.
Or you think you can, right.
Or so he thinks. But
You said so does he think.
Or so he thinks.
He can.
But what's going on though?
Well, he's saying whatever in the world.
There you go.
There you go. And no one's stopping him.
That's right.
White House IT.
So if I don't see you guys, I know you moved to D.C.
Move to D.C. That's all.
With their IT issues.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, did either of you get a chance to watch any of the Olympics?
Yes. Not a lot. This is, I think, personally, my least watched Olympics for the last couple of series. One, I'm not as big in the Winter Olympics anyway.
Okay.
I mean, the ice skating, I recognize the talent.
Curling?
I'm not really interested. Curling, where and how that came out, but go U.S.
Okay.
How does the U.S. win curling gold?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I do like watching the downhill slalom just because that's just so exciting. I've only gone skiing once in my life.
Okay.
And I think I was watching one of those cross-country marathons the other night just because, again, that's just, 30-something miles or 50 kilometers, I believe it was, of skiing. Just the endurance there, and it was a down to the end race. Happened to be turning it on at the right time, but no, I really haven't been watching that much.
I haven't seen much of it.
No,
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
usually
on.
in bed trying to get my 7-8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, getting that sleep to stay.
Stay healthy, mentally fit, and physically.
There it is.
The Fit Doc's Guide.
I don't know if it made a difference that NBC this year was carrying everything live,
Right.
which I think is good. But
Yep.
there's 12-hour difference.
Right.
So
And that is actually how I stumbled upon the skiing, because I was going to look at Saturday Night Live, and it was on. But I continued watching it because again, it was interesting. What about you? You been watching?
Watched a little bit of it, but was unable to locate where, I guess, so I'm a FiOS user.
Right.
I didn't see any 4K footage. I think that was only being carried with DirecTV. I'm not sure, but I couldn't find because I checked on the available channels.
Yep.
Nothing, I was unable to pull anything up in 4K.
Interesting.
So, I mean, and that was one thing that they were advertising. See this in 4K, and you're going to love it, and support your country, and all the above. So, it's good that it happens every 4 years.
Yep. Remember when the summer and the winter were in the same year?
Yes.
That was a good idea. Switch them up so it's every 2 years.
Yes.
That's got to be easier for the trainers and everyone else, too. Those who may cross over sports.
That's true.
Yeah.
The summer, kind of get into,
Yeah.
tad bit more.
Yep. Same
Because
here.
USA basketball,
Right. Boxing,
Track
boxing,
and field.
track and field.
gymnastics. I mean, just overall, I guess because we are from a warmer climate, we tend to watch those sports more. So I think we just find the Summer Olympics a little more entertaining.
Okay. All right.
But then there's curling.
Then there's curling. Then there's curling. I don't know.
Maybe we should try that as an outing.
The
Curling?
Olympics?
No, curling.
Oh.
Watch, curling training centers will stop popping up.
You never know.
Yeah. All you
It's
need
true.
is some ice.
It's
Very,
considered
very
exercise.
flat and level ice.
It's considered exercise. I mean, the two of you haven't told me what exercise you've been doing to maintain. But,
Go ahead, Ted. Go ahead.
I don't want to take off this jacket so that you can see. I've been working out on the Bowflex.
the Bowflex.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You mean like working out, like looking at it, or like physically?
No. I've
On
taken
it.
all the clothes.
The clothes hanger has been retired?
Yes. For 15 years, it's been hanging there. Pull down the bench, and I've been doing all different types of reps, lighter weights, but really more for the endurance and for the stamina. Get the
man.
sweat in.
Good man.
Very good.
Like I said, it's going to be a beach body, but I don't want to show it to you yet. It's not summertime yet.
Oh, you know what I forgot? Sunday, April 15th.
I was about to ask you.
We're
Sunday,
gonna have
April
that-
15th.
That JFK
Yes.
run
All right.
slash
You need to
walk
be
on
there.
the runway.
You need to be there.
We'll be there.
I mean, wait, you're going to be there.
Who was there?
You know.
Who was there last week? Last year, rather.
Three of us were there.
We were all
Everybody
there.
was there.
Yes.
You sure?
100%.
Okay.
We took a picture together. Hello.
It was so long ago.
April 15th.
15th.
That's right. Only $20.
No problem.
20?
We'll be there.
Run on the
That's what it
runway.
was.
I thought it was 25.
No,
I
it's
think it was
25 if
20.
you do with them, but our group discount is 20.
Ah, okay. $20.
We'll be out there.
You sure? Because I think last year you did it for 18.
They went up on the price.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the group discount is 20.
Okay.
That's fair.
But you're still going to
Round
come,
numbers.
though. You know,
Of
it's
course.
$2 more.
And we won't have Ted and Nemo running for the bus, the last bus.
The last
Oh, how could I forget
Now
that?
you remember.
The
Yes.
last bus.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes, that was good.
So April 15th.
Because guys were literally running after the
They
bus.
were running after the
Yes.
bus.
Yes.
And I'm trying to tell the driver, like, oh,
No,
he's like,
hold
no,
on.
we
Wait.
gotta
Last
go.
bus.
Don't.
That was funny.
But he made it.
But we made it.
And we had a good time.
Yep.
It's a
And so
great
this
time.
year will be even better.
It's a great time.
Sunday, April 15th. Run
We'll
on the
be there.
runway.
Just to let you know how small the world is. The amount of people that I knew that were engaged
the
with
good doctor.
the good doctor and her specific JFK runway crew. I'm serious. The young lady who lives a few blocks away from me, who's always walking a dog, you know, and I'm like,
I know you.
I know you. Oh my goodness. She's just like, yeah, I know you also. I'm like, okay.
I'm here with the doctor. Dr.
Here with the
Michele.
Dr.
Really?
Michele? Of course you are.
Bringing people together, and you didn't even know it.
Oh.
That's the great thing about Dr. Michele and all the great things that she does. She does wonderful things by default.
Thank you very much for the compliment. And you said it with a smile, so I know you're being sincere.
I am.
I
Always.
know.
Oh.
How are your boys, Dr. Michele?
Oh my goodness. They're taller than me now.
What?
Really?
Yes.
They had the first sprout.
Yes, they are both taller than me.
Wow.
Can you believe it? They'll be 14 in April.
Amazing. Good. Glad to hear it, though. They're doing well.
Yes.
Doing well in school. Enjoying life.
Yes,
Good.
yes, between school and basketball.
Good.
That's their life.
That's good.
So that's one of the reasons, too, why I've been away is basketball tournaments on the weekends.
Ah, okay.
We know you're busy. We may tease you, but we understand.
No, we heavily tease you. But we definitely do understand. We understand. So, other than that, we got a new studio here.
Yep.
I guess we're going to be here every week now. A little different.
Yes, it deserves a cheer. You know, it's nice. They did a nice job in putting this place together. See where it's coming along.
Yeah. Kind of see. No, it's definitely some upgrades. The cameras, more high def cameras.
Okay. Is that the one that's broadcasting the feed?
Oh, okay. Sorry I have my back to the camera.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yeah, that's it. But we'll get the other Ted broadcast camera going here.
Yeah.
So we can broadcast live on, that's going to Facebook feed or YouTube feed?
Yeah,
Which one is
Facebook,
that?
YouTube.
We'll get the YouTube feed going.
I got to tell you, last time I opened the camera and had it running, we were good to go.
Yep.
And then, update required.
But we'll be straight for next time. Next week.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. We definitely will.
Got our broadcasting going. We'll be okay.
Yeah, but I like this place a lot better. Closer.
How far?
Other things.
How far is this one for you?
Like under 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
This was a perfect ride. I
So
mean, I was
I'm
coming
the one
from
now.
by LaGuardia
Rich?
Airport, so I mean.
Rich, you have the
That was a little
yeomans.
Yep. Now it's it took about half an hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have the yeomans ride to get here. Oh my goodness.
And it'll only mean that during Walking Dead season, which starts tonight,
Walking Dead.
I won't be outside talking for as long because I want to
it's
get
just
home.
1, 2, 3.
That's it.
Any predictions for this season?
I'm waiting to see how they decide to end and clear up the Negan versus Rick and company. I mean, I don't want to give out, for those who may still be behind, I'm not going to give away what was the end of the season cliffhanger last time, but major character has a major injury. We want to see what they do here, what they do with the family, how they decide to end it, who's going to die, because someone's got to die. Will it be Negan? Will it be Rick? Will it be who knows who? So that's what I want to see here. I think they've got to take Negan out of it somehow.
Okay.
But I also kind of feel that, you know what, it's also getting near time to start wrapping that show up. Because
Starting to get a little long in the tooth
a
now?
little long in the tooth. It's still the same storyline basically every time, same formula. They're walking around, they find a place, they live at the place for a while, they run into some bad guys hurt them, they get back at the bad guys, move on to the next place.
What about the
repeat.
crossover? There should be a crossover episode happening soon with Fear the Walking Dead.
With Fear the Walking Dead, right? So one of the major characters from Walking Dead is leaving Walking Dead and going to Fear the Walking Dead. Lenny, forget his last name, but so that should be good. Fear the Walking Dead, great show, but
Great
you
show.
know, you also kind of wonder if it'll get caught up into the same serial rinse repeat as well. So we'll see what happens there, but that is a good show.
I think on the line, you guys got to help me out because my headphones are a little flaky. My headphones. Oh. My headphones. Oh, my goodness. It just turned. We have Danny Thompson on the line from Around the Association Radio in Orlando, Florida. There's an incident that people have been talking about, the NCAA and the impending scandal. Want to welcome Danny Thompson to the show.
Ted, thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Danny, let's just dive right into it. What's going on? Because I saw something with Arizona and their coach. The coach wasn't coaching. He was picked up. Either was it a wiretap or what's going on with that whole story?
So, before we get to Sean Miller, his incident and his involving in this case, it goes all the way back actually to Rick Pitino. So it goes back to September when NCAA probe had came out that had a couple of assistants that include Chuck Person, among other ones, being fired over allegations of players being paid or being paid to be recruited or family receiving illegal benefits. This then turns into what happened with Louisville in the final straw with Pitino when a top 15 player by the name of Brian Bowen was basically given money by an agency which was known by ASM, which was ran by Christian Dawkins and a couple other people that are no longer in the agent game now. Brian Bowen and his family was paid for airfare, meals, and also given stipends. Fast forward now that there is a wiretapping issue involving Sean Miller and DeAndre Ayton, who is now the potential number one pick of the draft and a top 5 player in the country right now, and $100,000 that involves a wiretap. Now, in between the Brian Bowen and the DeAndre Ayton mess, there's about 20 different college programs involved in it, including current players and former players. Current players that also include guys like Wendell Carter Jr. at Duke. You have Dennis Smith Jr., who's now with the Dallas Mavericks. You do have Colin Sexton, who's going to be a first-round pick from the University of Alabama, among, like I said, a multitude of players from colleges all across the country that had either received benefits, received food, received money, parents received money, players receiving stipends. There's so many players involved in this, Ted, that we could do a whole entire show on the number of players and the amount of money that's been spent by ASM on these players that signed and did not sign with them, that were all NCAA violations.
Danny, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Arizona, didn't Shaquille O'Neal's son just commit to play with Arizona?
Sharif O'Neal had committed to Arizona. He was recruited by places like Kentucky, among others. He decided to go to Arizona because he felt like it was a home environment, loved Sean Miller and the entire staff, including Lorenzo Romar. Also had another top 25 player, I think Brandon Williams. They both have now decommitted from Arizona in the last 48 hours. So now 2 players that would have helped Arizona's class be in the top 10 in the country have now decommitted. And O'Neal is the most high profile, of course, because he's Sack's son. And now his open recruitment is now going crazy because a lot of these schools have already given out their scholarships. So there's going to be somebody waiting in the wings to pick up a top 30 player in the country.
Just as you said before, we could do we might just have to do a podcast on this because I can see how this thing is sprawling and you never know who's going to, who's next on the list to be hit. Duke is involved in this, correct?
I mean, Ted, to be honest with you, Ted, there's so many. The ESPN report came out that it was a multitude of Duke involved in it. There is, there's a multitude of schools like Kansas, South Carolina, Utah, So basically, when you look at the players that were given admissible benefits, Alabama, Duke, Kentucky, LSU, Maryland, Michigan State, NC State, North Carolina, Seton Hall, Texas, Washington, USC among those schools. Then you have Wichita State, Xavier, that was involved with Kristen Dawkins with reimbursement. Notre Dame, Creighton, Iowa State, Vanderbilt, Virginia, with these guys meet with agents and they're supposed to. There's about maybe 7 current players going on with this right now, and then former players that would be about maybe 15 schools. We're looking at probably about 45 to 50 schools involved in this. So this is not some small investigation. This is a huge one that can blow up the landscape of college basketball because a lot of the blue blood programs, like I mentioned before, Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, Michigan State, are all involved in this. Arizona.
Danny, what's the best way we can find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at NBADT_30. Check out the site, which is roundassociation.com, which is ironic because I'm actually releasing a mock draft with about 60 players that are involved in this scandal are actually in my mock draft in the top 14.
Gotcha, Danny. I think we're going to catch up this week, and we'll do a podcast just strictly on NCAA. Thanks again.
I'm glad to do it, guys. You guys have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
You too. Wow. So where does that leave you as a basketball player in college?
Who knows? Everything is tainted nowadays.
No, that's huge.
Is it that everything's tainted nowadays, or everyone's just getting busted for being tainted nowadays?
Man.
I think everything has been tainted.
Right.
But like you said, more and more things are coming out. Everything's leaking. And I had heard about Sean Miller. Heard about it, and it was funny because the player and the coach that were both implicated, the player was playing Saturday night or Friday night, and the coach suspended indefinitely.
That doesn't sound very balanced.
No, not at all. Well, what the player has the skill.
Right.
You know,
players bringing in more of the money. Basically.
Well, bringing money to the school.
Bringing money to the school.
But not to the player themselves.
Right.
No.
Right.
Because I see for one of the guys who's at Duke, they're saying that there was a meal when he was a junior in high school that was like $100, and he's caught up in the scandal because of that. And here he is, a freshman at Duke.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just, this stuff is just. Hopefully, we can get with Danny Thompson this week and discuss it a little bit more. He covers the Orlando Magic and a few other teams located, like Orlando City, the soccer team, UCF football, UCF basketball. So he's kind of plugged into the sports world.
All right.
Other than that, I'm going to say, what's on the agenda for this week?
This week, at the 9 to 5, nothing crazy going on. I hope we should be pretty calm there. On my side of things, it's continued Suffolk County auxiliary PD classes.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? What did you just say? Because I just heard like a little, something that was very low.
Suffolk County auxiliary. So you haven't been around for a while.
Here we go.
See, well, that was not a jab. No, that was not a jab. That wasn't. You just haven't been around. So there's a long story, and we're not going to have time for it now because we'll dedicate probably the better part of a podcast.
That needs to be its own show.
That
needs its own show. I'm serious.
It will be because
its
when
own
it's done,
episode.
not until graduation, which is not until June. But I am a sworn member of the Suffolk County Auxiliary Police Department.
Oh wow! A lot happens when I'm not around.
When you're not around.
Yeah.
Long story, but so I'm looking at the weather right now because on this upcoming Saturday, our training class is going to be the outdoor traffic guidance part of it, and they already told us rain, snow, sleet, hail, it doesn't matter what the weather's doing.
You're out there.
We're going to be out there because that's how it is.
Oh wow!
And there's a nor'easter coming in.
Love it.
This weekend?
Yeah, was literally just looking at that right now. Nor'easter coming in for the Northeast, starting roughly on Thursday through Friday and into the weekend.
Oh, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So
Thank
when
you.
do you become official?
I'm sworn now, but graduation is until June.
Oh,
That's when we graduation at the academy.
wow.
If you'd like to come, you'll have an invitation. My family will be, invited.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go live from graduation.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. There you go.
Oh, wow. He has a badge and everything.
Yeah.
He is official.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
Don't mess
And a
with
uniform,
Richie V.
the whole, you'll see one day.
Wow.
Love it.
So that's
Love
what's going on in my life for this upcoming week.
Dr. Michele?
Well, Monday is back to work, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have the Fit Doc Boot Camp at 7:30 p.m. So no better time than now to get started on working on that summer body.
And remind the listeners where it's held.
It is at NX Generation 575 Merrick Avenue, and that's in Westbury, New York. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
And everybody is welcome to come. First class is free on me, and after that, it's $15 a person. If you bring somebody, it's $10 for you.
That's fair.
Wow.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in the gym.
You'll be in the
I'll
gym,
be in
and
the
somebody
gym.
else will be on their Bowflex.
Yep. Working. I remember when he bought that Bowflex. It was almost 15 years ago.
Almost
We
15
were
years
working
ago.
at NYIT when he purchased that.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Do you think it really works, though?
If you use it, sure.
Oh.
I mean, if it's been
It will.
sitting for 14, 15 years, it might not be as
Taking
effective.
shots.
I'm sure it will.
Maybe he
And
needs
if
to
not,
come to the class.
Doesn't Bowflex.
This week, I'm going to, as we come to the close of the show, this week I will be heading to urgent care.
Urgent care?
Urgent care.
Why are you heading to urgent care?
Long story short, doing a brief assignment, I have to go to an Amwell urgent care.
Okay.
Where's that located?
Oh, I don't know. I just got to look it up. I just got to pick one.
Oh, you can go to any of them?
Yeah, I can go to any
Okay,
of
yeah,
them.
they're all over the island.
So I have to go there, talk about my experience,
Okay.
give them 300 or 400 words.
Going
So
undercover?
wait, time out. Did you go to them before?
No.
Oh, so this is a
This is
one-time
an editorial visit.
Okay.
This is just for the blog.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you go undercover?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. So they gave me a code. They gave me, it's kind of like Secret Shopper.
Right, got it.
So
Okay.
I have to go there.
Nice.
And I'm still trying to put together what the issue is going to be.
Got it.
So not
So
really sure.
tell them so you got to make something up, it sounds like, because you don't really
Yeah.
have an issue.
No, I really don't have an
So
issue.
you're working out, you feel a sudden strain and think
Oh
your arm
no,
really
don't
hurts.
say that because we don't need for that to happen.
Put it out into the
That
ether,
could- that
and
could
then that
set
could very
him
easily
back,
happen.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I can't move my finger right now. It's stuck.
Move my
I can't
finger.
work out for the rest of my life. No.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, other than that, great to be here. It's almost time
we
to.
can actually look at the clock on the wall and
I
see
know.
it
This
clearly.
is great.
Oh, it's digital.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's time to close.
Wait, it says Saturday.
You
They're
weren't
still
supposed
working-
to pick up on that.
They're
okay?
still working through a few things here.
One thing at a time,
Kicking the
Doc.
tires
One thing
on
at a
few
time.
things,
71
yeah.
degrees outside.
That's all right.
So with that, ways to follow you, Richie V,
I am still and will always late night rich.
Dr. Michele.
Making it real easy for everyone. Fit Doc Michele Reed. Michelle
Okay.
with one L.
Okay, Fit Doc Michele Reed.
Yes,
Michelle with one
Instagram,
L.
Facebook, Twitter. It's just Fit
Unify.
Doc Michele R.
Unify the. Wait, Fit Doc Michele R. Fit Doc Michele Reed.
Well, Twitter, I couldn't put Reed at the end.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
across the board.
Instagram, it's Fit Doc Michele R. Everywhere else, it's Fit Doc
No,
Michele.
Twitter, Michelle R. Everything else, Fit Doc Michele Reed.
Okay, got
With
it.
one L.
With one L, of course.
1L. And I am the real Ted Hicks. Thanks again.
Everyone have a great week. Thanks for listening.